Ever feel like life is just too real? I'm feeling like that right now. Welcome to Real Life with Andrea. My name is Andrea, and I am here walking alongside of you and your real struggles, even though I don't know what they are. I'm sharing my struggles with you so that you know that you are not alone. Today, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you comment below on the video or on anything you would like me to pray for you with, or anything that content that you would like to see, or questions that you have. If you want to be notified when I upload content, please hit that notification button and it will notify you when I post a new video. So today is Thursday, and on Tuesday I took my car in to the Ford dealership to be repaired. And it's kind of a long story with this vehicle. I had a minivan and I had it for a really long time and I loved it. I probably had it for 10 years. And in 2021, because I've almost had this new vehicle for 2 years, I found myself in a situation where it would not start all the time. It was in a terrible situation. I've got many kids and dogs that I have to get to the vet, and with my job and all that stuff. So I found myself in a situation where I needed to get a vehicle. And if anybody remembers what 2021 was like in the vehicle industry, there was nothing reasonable. There were no new cars. Every new car was on a wait list from here until who knows when. And used cars were at a premium. And so when I needed to go out and buy a used car, quite frankly, I got ripped off. I mean, at the time it wasn't really ripping off, it was supply and demand. But now 2 years later, after making payments on my car for 2 years, I find that my car is worth way less than what I still owe on it after 2 years. So when I looked at all my options for trading it in or doing something else, I'm stuck with the stupid vehicle. I don't even like it. That's a different story. So now I find myself having a coolant leak and oil issues and all of these things on the vehicle. And so I took it to my regular mechanic, and he did not have the tools to be able to do the coolant leak because he believed that it was in the fuel or the water pump. And anyhow, Ford makes it complicated or something. I don't know about having to have special tools. I'm not a mechanic, but he told me it was going to be real expensive, maybe $2,000 or $3,000. Okay. So I take my car in on Monday, finally decided that I just was going to have to bite the bullet, take it in, see what I can do about getting an estimate. Maybe I would get lucky and it wouldn't be as big a deal as my mechanic thought that it would be. And well, it was worse than that. So apparently, when I had my oil change last time, they did not tighten down the cap or the filter for my oil, and oil has been going all over the undercarriage of my car, and so I had to have that cleaned up. And then because that has been an issue, I have issues in my oil system. I have a pressure valve that needs to be replaced. Anyway, all these things, right? I don't need to go into all those details. So bottom line, I said bottom line, and he says so. And there were a few other things that I wanted to have repaired if I could. And he says, if we just do the things that you absolutely have to do to put this car back on the road, which would be the oil and the coolant, $5,100, and I don't even know how many dollars and cents, because after $5,000 I had a hard time listening. I sat in stunned silence, and he said, tell me what you're thinking. And I'm like, I'm thinking I have no idea where I'm gonna get $5,000. So he said, well, give us a call tomorrow, think it over. I said, well, let me see what I can do. I don't know what I'm going to do. But here's the sad reality of it. I got to come up with $5,000. I can't drive the car. I can't sell the car because I still would owe a boatload of money. The car is worth, if I get it fixed, it might be worth somewhere between $15,000 and $17,000. And we're being real here. I owe $25,000 on that car. If I don't fix the car, it's worth $10,000, maybe less, and I owe $25,000 on the car. If I don't fix the car and I don't sell the car, I still have a car payment to make, and I have a vehicle sitting in my driveway that I can't do anything with, and I still need a car. If I let the car be repoed, which is not my number one option, they're going to sell it at auction, and they are going to hold me accountable for whatever they don't sell it for. So if they sell it for $5,000 or $8,000, because mechanically nobody can drive it without doing $5,000 worth of work, and there are other things wrong with it, they're just much more minor, I still am on the hook for the balance between what they sell it for and the $25,000. It's a racket, I tell you. Anyhow, so I am spending the next 24 hours trying to figure out what it is that I'm going to do, where I'm going to get $5,000, how I'm going to handle dealing with this vehicle, and trying to figure out how to pay for all that. Most people don't have that kind of money just laying around. I mean, to tell you, I could buy a used car for $5,000, but I'm still stuck with the bill for this current car. I don't know. Comments, questions, theories? I feel like I'm between a rock and a hard place. And money is one of those topics that really can derail us in our Christian life. So all of that, and I'm just trying to process it and pray about it and figure out what is the right thing to do. And of course the right thing is to do would be to take care of the vehicle, and so we know what the right thing to do is, but this is a situation where, like, the right thing to do seems like the impossible thing to do. So please pray for me, pray with me over this subject, and how I can take care of this situation and show my faith that God is going to come through for me and take care of this. He is. I know that He is, and I don't know what that looks like or what my part in that is, but I do know that my part is to pray. My part is going to be to make phone calls. My part is going to be to figure out, do I have a family member or somebody that I can borrow the money from and be able to pay back? Whatever that situation is, I know that God is in control and that God is going to take care of me. But there are moments in situations like this where you just get your insides all twisted and you're afraid and you don't know what to do, and it's stressful. And when I am stressed, I don't know about you, but when I am stressed, I tend to be very snappy with the people around me. So for me, it's going to be about having that peace, continuing when I feel that anxiety to pray for that peace that passes all understanding, so that my joy is not stolen and my cup can overflow with goodness to my family, and not treat them badly because it's not their fault. It's not their situation. They didn't put me in this jam. Nobody did anything to me. And so making sure that I am being able to be a good witness to how to live a faith-filled life, how to live a God-honoring life, even when things are really, really hard. Now, there's always somebody who has it harder. There are people who don't have food. There are people who live in fear for their lives every day. There are people who live just in very tough and difficult situations, and that isn't my situation. And I thank God for that every day, that though life is hard for me and I don't often know what to do, that He has provided for me, and some things just don't really measure up on the tough scale as to what other people are going through. So I do try to remember that the things that I'm going through, though they are difficult, they are not impossible, and that God has given me a good life. He has given me wonderful children. He has allowed me to live in this beautiful home and to be able to homeschool my children. He has allowed me the freedom to stay home with my children and work from home. He has given me a business that, well, it used to be profitable, and we'll see what He does with that, as we have had to make some decisions about downsizing the business and having me move on to something else, because the dog breeding business, it's not the market that it used to be. And it's really hard work, and with both of my kids going off to school this year, my older kids, and all I have left are littles, it's a lot of work for myself. Anyway, I digress. So once again, pray for me through this situation. I really do covet those prayers, and pray for my situation with my car, but mostly that in all my actions and in all my deeds and all the conversations that I have with the mechanics, with the dealership, with the finance people, with whoever it is that I need to talk to, that I will deal with them honestly, with integrity, with love, with patience, with kindness, because they are not the object of my frustration or my stress. So please pray that I will allow Jesus to present Himself through me in this difficult situation, no matter who I'm talking to. Thank you for that in advance, and I look forward to sharing with you a wonderful success story. I don't know when, I don't know how long it'll take, but it's all gonna work out okay. I hope. Oh, I'm sure. Confidence. God is who He says He is. He will take care of me. I just don't know what it's going to look like. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you want to hear more, hit that notification button and comment below. And let's continue to pray for each other. Have a great evening.